I'm sure you've heard the news. World War II was a time of immense struggle and conflict, with many nations fighting valiantly. However, not all countries had the resources or military strength to withstand the onslaught. Some nations were quickly overwhelmed by the Axis powers, their defenses crumbling in a matter of hours or days. Some countries in WWII didn't stand a chance. Their stories are often overshadowed by the larger battles and more powerful nations, but they are no less important. These countries faced insurmountable odds, and their quick defeats were a testament to the overwhelming force of their enemies. Let's find out who they were. We'll take a closer look at the top 5 weakest countries during WWII, examining the circumstances that led to their rapid defeats and the impact it had on their people. First up, Denmark. In 1940, Germany invaded and Denmark surrendered in just 6 hours. The Danish government realized that resistance was futile against the might of the German war machine. They chose to surrender quickly to avoid unnecessary destruction and loss of life. 6 hours, folks, that's like a really long Netflix binge. Next is Luxembourg. This small nation, nestled between Belgium, France, and Germany, had very limited military capabilities. This tiny nation had no real army and fell to Germany in just one day. The Luxembourgish government and its people were caught off guard by the rapid advance of German forces, leaving them with no choice but to surrender. That's right, one day, blink, and you missed it. Now the Philippines. This archipelago in Southeast Asia was a US territory at the time, and it found itself in the crosshairs of the Japanese Empire. A US territory back then, it faced a brutal Japanese invasion in 1941 and surrendered within months. The Battle of Bataan and the subsequent Bataan Death March were harrowing experiences for both Filipino and American soldiers. Months of sheer bravery against overwhelming odds. Then we have Belgium. Despite its preparations for war, Belgium was no match for the German blitzkrieg tactics. Despite prepping for war, it was overrun by Germany in 18 days in 1940. The Belgian forces fought bravely, but the speed and ferocity of the German attack left them with little chance to mount an effective defense. 18 days. That's faster than my pizza delivery. Last but not least, Ethiopia. This African nation had already been weakened by a previous conflict. Last but not least, Ethiopia. Already weakened by Italy's 1935 invasion, it fell under Italian control before WWII even began. The Ethiopian resistance was valiant, but ultimately they could not withstand the Italian military's superior firepower and resources. Talk about a rough start. These nations faced incredible challenges, and their quick defeats were a stark reminder of the brutal realities of war. These nations may have had weak militaries, but their people showed incredible resilience. The spirit and determination of their citizens to rebuild and recover after such devastating losses is truly inspiring. These stories remind us that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, the human spirit can endure and overcome. The sacrifices and struggles of these nations should never be forgotten. Want more history? Like and follow for more. Dive deeper into the past and uncover the stories that shaped our world.